Good morning once again. Okay, we took a position. Well, remember we were selling, actually. We were selling a pound yen, and it dropped incredibly. An incredible drop. Let's see. Let's see if I can show you this drop. This was the sell position that I took. And here you can see we sold from up here. 1, 2, 3. And it dropped. Now if we would have held the position from here, which is where we got out, to where it dropped, it would have been an incredible amount of profit. Actually, we were banking on it to drop here, but like I said, we were risking too much, so didn't want to be greedy. So that's the reason why we decided to close the position a little early. So here we're doing the same. I'm gonna wait for a little spike. Another thing that was really weird, and you can check it from, you can confirm with the last video that I sent. You can see that before GJ actually began to drop, we originally had the first drop here on EJ, and I said, oh man, it's crazy how I bought yen, but I bought it in pound instead of buying it in euro. And then when EJ started dropping, it dropped, and then when it started to recover, that's when this happened. That's when EJ started to sell off tremendously, because when EJ actually started selling, it was in around this time. So they were correlating, which means moving together. And then, like I said, EJ started dropping, and GJ just stayed still. And then when EJ started going up, that's when GJ dropped. So pretty and it's not anything that you are going to look at, because I mean, you would literally have to be looking at a chart tick by tick for a while, for maybe several hours, or depending on the, obviously if you're trading it on a 1 minute chart, then you may only need maybe 5 or 10 minutes of price action for you to compare the currencies that are correlating. And when they correlate, you'll notice that tick for tick they move together. So like here, let's say I'm trying to find a correlation, or I'm noticing a correlation between euro yen and pound yen. Okay, what do I mean? Well, I'll notice that the formations are pretty much the same. No, the way that they act. You see that the way that they act around a MA line. You'll also notice that they move together. So now you're noticing here that they're not moving together. Okay, because as this moves up, then this one should move up as well. So right now we don't have that correlation, right? So, but on the other hand, when you do have the correlation, as I mentioned before with the EJ and the GJ drop, when you do have the correlation and then all of a sudden they stop correlating, but one of the two currencies really moves hard, you want to keep an eye on the currency that didn't move at all. Because if two currencies are moving together, one of them spikes up and the other one doesn't do anything, you're more than likely to think that the other one is delayed, and because you've been watching it for so many hours, you would probably more than likely take a chance and buy it as well. Well, if I would have done that with the EJ GJ, I would have lost, right? Well, no, actually I would have won. I did win, but it wasn't instantaneous, because what happened was after it started moving, they faked a move up with this candle here, right? And then after that fake, after going flat, after having gone flat for such a long time here, after we get this spike, and it doesn't look like anything, but I was watching it in real time, so I noticed it. you'll notice that the important thing about this candle is that this one candle closes across both of the fib levels, okay? And then that's when the massive sell-off began. Obviously, it wasn't a big sell-off. If it would have been a big sell-off, trust me, I'd be the world's happiest trader right now, okay? But it was a sell-off big enough to cause, um, you know, some profit. But I mean, imagine if I had held on as planned, my profit my profit right now would definitely trump the profit that I made last week. Okay, so right now we're going to trail these orders, and that's it. Trump's Forex hack. It was a pleasure once again, and once we have any new recommendations, we'll let you know.